Hi and welcome to SimSmart's online sessions. If you like our videos, please do subscribe and support us. So in this particular video, I am going to initially tell you about the material list that is needed for one stroke painting, and later on we are going to discuss on how to load your brush and some basic strokes. This particular painting we need mainly a drawing sheet of at least 130 GSM or above. And we need paper napkins to clean our paint or water that is there on your brush. Synthetic flat brushes, this is really must. Go for synthetic only. We need acrylic colors. As a beginner, choose liquid acrylics. Once you're used to it, then you can go for tube acrylics. And of course, you need a cup or a glass of water to clean your brushes. And for the palette, I use a disposable plate. So let's see how to load a brush. So whenever you take the paint and the brush, you have to dip the brush into the paint. So do we call this as loading? No, this is not loading. When you have to load the paint, you have to brush into the paint as many times as possible such that all the bristles of the brush are equally distributed with the paint. So this is how an equally distributed paint looks like. So this is what a loading of the brush is called. This is very important, particularly for the one stroke painting. So let's learn few strokes initially with just one paint, one single paint. One nice vertical stroke, then horizontal, then vertical, then again horizontal. Now what you do is, when you're doing it, as you're going to the tip, lift your brush. Initially I didn't do that. Now if you see, press and then lift. So that is when you get that sharp end. Press and then lift. When you're lifting, when you're ending, it should end sharp because you're touching only with the tip of the brush. Lift, press and lift. This is very important to do, very important to learn, because many of our strokes have this same technique. We press and then we lift. That is when you get that sharp strokes. Learn this. Start with the horizontal and the vertical stroke. Keep doing it till you become really perfect in that. As I told you, the lifting of your brush is very important. Press and then lift. So in any direction you do, you should be able to do this technique of lifting the brush. Once you're perfect with this, let's move on to the next stroke. After you get this really well, let's move on to the next stroke, and that is wavy stroke. So all we are going to do is, we're going to press our brush and go up and down in a wavy motion. As you're going, you can see the width is maintained. I'm not making it thinner or thicker. As I'm going, I'm making sure the width is maintained. So go up and down, keep it very slow, and as you're coming to the tip, lift, and you should get that sharp end. Then let's do this semicircle, like a comma. Lift. And from the other side as well. To the left and then lift. Press, turn it to the left and lift. Let's do that again. Press, first keep your brush straight, then curve it and then lift. Press and then lift. Then to the left side now. Press and then lift. Curve it. First you have to keep it straight, curve it, and then you have to lift it. Try to do the same thing. Try to do a semicircle as well in the same technique. Start from one end. Twist your brush. When I'm twisting my brush, you're seeing that it's not moving from the place. One point is constant. Now the actual one stroke begins. So let's take two different colors, any colors of your choice. Take them two, then load your brush on either side, and then you can see the way I'm doing, go down and go up. You have to do this multiple times. I'll show you what happens if you don't load your brush properly. So I haven't loaded my brush properly. A small vertical line and my paint is done on the brush. So loading your brush is very important here. So while you're loading your brush, make sure you go in the same stroke as we are doing it. To the left we took orange and to the right we took red color. So brush it over the palette as many times as possible. You should load your brush completely. Keep doing it at least for 2 or 3 minutes. That is when your brush will be loaded properly. Take more and more paint and do it. But whenever you're doing, make sure your orange doesn't go into your red or red doesn't go into your orange. Follow that line. You can see that stroking in the palette itself. Make sure you maintain that. So once your loading is good, you see the difference between a loaded brush and an unloaded brush. Now the same line I'll draw. See the long way it's taking me. It really took me a long way from up to down. And not only that, I'll be able to do much more strokes with the same paint that is there on the brush. So it gives you more paint. It holds more paint when you load it properly. So after every step, make sure you load it again and again so that your picture comes out really well in a very smooth manner. Because if the brush doesn't contain enough paint, your one stroke will never come out well. So this is very important, loading of the brush. So let's do the same thing, same strokes that we have done previously. This has come properly, but that is the shine of the camera. It's looking as if it's not done well. Once a long vertical stroke is done, load your brush again. The same technique, to the left take your orange, to the right take red color and load your brush again. You can take this side, whatever left out paint is there onto the left side, you can take that paint as well. Nicely brush it, nicely load it properly. Make sure you don't mix up the red and orange colors. Now the next one that we do is the horizontal stroke. Do and lift. The same technique that you have learned previously. Press and lift. Press and lift. So do the same strokes. Now with two colors. First we have learned with single color. Now do with the two colors. As I told you, you can take any colors of your choice. There's no compulsion that you are supposed to take only red and orange. You can take anything, one light and one dark color also will do. So after every few strokes, make sure you load your brush again. So I'm loading them again and again. After around 5 or 6 strokes, I'm making sure I'm loading it. But if you don't load your brush properly, hardly 1 or 2 strokes will be coming, not more than that. So loading your brush is very important. I'm repeating that again and again. For one stroke, loading of the brush is super duper important. Yes, so now we are done with the horizontal strokes. The vertical strokes are done. Let's do the wavy motion. The wavy stroke. Press and do. Whatever you're doing, press it. Press the brush. Don't just use the tip. You're going to use the tip only at the end. We just lift the brush to end it well, but not to paint it. The rest of the times, your brush should be pressed properly. So that is when you get that nice stroke you can see there. From orange to red color. I hope it is very neatly visible, right? So go up and down in a very nice thick manner, and as you're coming to the corner, lift it. Repeat the same till you get it. Since I'm doing only 2 or 3 times, you also don't do 2 or 3 times. Till you really get it perfectly, keep doing it. Keep doing longer waves, smaller waves with different sizes of the brushes. But initially take a bigger brush, wider brush. I'm just taking another color. This time I'm taking orange and white color and then loading the brush. As I told, loading the brush is very important. So this is size 10, brush size 10. The same brush that I've used previously, I'm using the same brush, but I made sure I clean it really well. So not only loading, even cleaning of the brush is important. So before you move on to the next colors, make sure the whole of the paint, whatever is there on your brush, is cleaned well. So clean at least 2 or 3 times. First clean in a nice bowl of water. Then remove the excess paint with some paper napkin or tissue. Then again keep back in the water, fresh water, and clean it. That is when you get a very neat brush. So once the loading of the brush is done well, let's continue doing the strokes. The same strokes, I'm just showing you with different color. This time, as I told, it is white and orange. You can use any color, white or orange, or white and red, white and blue. It's totally up to you. Even the red and white looks really beautiful. Red and blue also looks beautiful. White and blue looks beautiful. Any 2 colors of your choice. I'm loading my brush again. Similar technique, but make sure you keep in the same direction. orange to the left and white to the right. Don't change the direction. Then it becomes a single color. So make sure it's orange to the left and white to the right. Load your brush again. Whenever you feel the paint is getting over on the brush, please don't continue. Stop it there. Load your brush again. So keep doing it. Keep doing the strokes as we have learned previously. The vertical strokes and the horizontal strokes, and as you're coming to the end, make sure you lift your brush to get a sharper end. So keep learning, keep doing this loading of the brush properly. This is very important step. And since orange is a dominating color compared to white color, it will try to dominate the white color. So make sure you go towards the white color more than towards the orange color. So go slow and neat and lift the brush as you're coming to the corner. And keep practicing till you get it. Do subscribe my channel and I'll see you in the next session. Bye.